Gunpowder has played a pivotal role in the development of the modern world. Much is to be said regarding the evolution of gunpowder and its progression as a commodity. For hundreds of years, mankind has utilized gunpowder as a destructive facilitator, enabling military conquests of all scales and purposes. How, then, can we trace the military history of gunpowder? How has this commodity impacted the world, and to whose benefit? The evolution of gunpowder and its military application.
Gunpowder paved the way for European exploration and allowed Europeans to take over lucrative trade routes. While gunpowder originated in Asia, Europeans began experimenting with gunpowder by the 13th century. By the 16th century, Europeans had developed cannons and were using them to destroy walls. This had large implications because gunpowder was replacing all types of weapons for use in war.
During the 15th and 16th centuries, European powers set out to discover new riches and to take control of the spice trade. The spice trade was largely in the hands of the Muslim and Italian traders that traded spices with the rest of Europe. Prince Henry of Portugal became the leader of the Portuguese effort to establish an empire overseas. The Portuguese sent sailing ships to explore the coast of Africa. These sailing ships, which were wind-powered, were much heavier than galleys. These bigger ships allowed for cannons to be placed along the front and rear sides of the ships.
The Portuguese developed lucrative trades in gold, slaves, and other items between Portugal and Africa. Vasco da Gama was sent to explore sea routes towards India. In 1498, Vasco da Gama arrived in India and tried to establish a trade network with the city of Calicut. Da Gama was in Calicut for 3 months, but was unsuccessful in developing trade ties. The trip was not a failure, as Da Gama proved a new sea route to India existed, and there was no maritime fleet in the Indian Ocean that would impede Portuguese access to the spice trade. Da Gama was sent on a second voyage to India. He was able to set up ports in India that were in Portuguese interest. While returning from this journey, Da Gama was attacked by 30 ships financed by the Muslim traders of Calicut. Da Gama, with the superior technology in gunpowder, was able to defeat these attackers. It also showed the superior technology that the Portuguese possessed over other Asian counterparts. The Portuguese were able to gain control of the spice trade, and in order to protect their interests, sent large fleets armed with cannons to patrol the trade routes. This allowed the Portuguese to drive out the Muslim traders and patrol the Indian coast. Portugal had a monopoly over the spice trade, and any city that did not trade with Portugal was bombarded. Forts were also built, and cannons were the main weapons of defense. Gunpowder, along with the cannon, allowed the Portuguese to set up a massive trade empire located in the East Indies and maintain a monopoly on the spice trade. The Spanish also used gunpowder to overwhelm local rulers and establish lucrative trade routes. Columbus set off to find a new route to India for spices and instead discovered the Caribbean. The local people still used bows and arrows. They had never seen a weapon that used gunpowder before, and Columbus was able to show the local people the power of cannons. Gunpowder was used to show the power of the Spanish. In the 16th century, the Spanish continued their expansion into America. Hernan Cortez in 1519 invaded the Aztec Empire. His army consisted of 500 soldiers who encountered armies much greater in size, but were no match for the Spanish gunpowder. The Aztecs fought with stones and slings. Cortez first encountered the Mayan Indians in southern Mexico. In his first battle with them, he fired his cannons at the Indians. The Mayans proved no match for the Spanish gunpowder. He traveled north and engaged in a 3-month battle with the Aztecs. Cannons and gunpowder were the decisive factor and used to destroy the main part of the army of the Aztecs. Cortez was then able to secure gold and silver for the Spanish.
In closing, the invention of gunpowder and its progress through history has altered the annals of time. The world was permanently changed by gunpowder and its military application. In the beginning, it acted as a deciding factor within military campaigns, later becoming commonplace on the battlefield. This malignant commodity is a spawn of our destructive capacity, a means of power, and absolutely essential to the security and development of sovereign nations.